Good morning. Good morning. My Bible discussion this morning, we will briefly talk about a text, Revelation 17, where the angel with the seven bowls tells John, look, and he sees a whore that sits upon many waters. And it talks about how this whore committed fornication with the kings of the earth, and the merchants of the earth waxed rich in her delicacies. And the kings of the earth were rich from her. Here in this text, this is the most evilest time in Earth's history. Excuse me. These are the most wickedest times in Earth's history. This is sin at its highest in Earth's history, and God is using sexual connotations to describe sin. God is using sexual corruption to describe sin at its worst. A whore committing fornication and sexual immoralities with the kings of the earth. We're living in a day where we have not seen. There was a time when I used to pop lock and I used to do different dances, but an 80-year-old man said we used to do that dance. It was called the ball and chain, and we called it the boogaloo. When he said the boogaloo, I knew the 80-year-old man knew the dance. Everything was recycled, but today, this generation is the first generation where we can truly say we have not done this before. They are bombarded with all types of information. They have phones that are literal computers in their pockets. And we didn't have access to this information so quickly and so freely. We had to literally research. We had to use libraries. We had to use books. We had to use magazines. And right now, this is the porn age where children are walking around with porno in their pockets. They are having access to things that adults should not have access to. This is a generation like we've never seen before, my friends. We are in uncharted waters. I didn't have this when I was young. We didn't do the things they're doing now. We cannot say we done this before. As we verge on the edge of the time where Christ is soon to come, sexual corruptness is at its highest, and he used sexual corruption to describe sin in the earth. A man will go to the store and they'll buy a box of Cheerios, and he see that the box is open. And as the box is open, he goes in and he sees that the pack has been ripped open and someone's been eating out of the box. He's not going to buy that box because it's been tampered with. He'll put it back. Or if you went to the store and you bought some milk, but you realized that the safe-proof cap has been compromised and somebody's been messing with it, so we put it back. But when it comes to our women and our men, we don't care if they're tampered with. We don't care if they've been opened up and used. And it's a sad case because premarital sex destroys marriages before they even come. Baal Pori was a god in the Old Testament who they worshiped, and it means the god of the opening. It's talking about the rectum, and Baal Pori is reaping havoc on America right now. I don't care if you're fat, skinny, tall, thin. It doesn't matter. Everybody's wearing the spandex. You cannot not see a woman walking in the store with they showing their bodies. It's the norm. What we call looking like a whore back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, now it's a normal look. The moral compass has totally changed. Sexual corruption at its highest. This is the porn age. Before we had to play catch a girl, kiss a girl, and we'd have to learn because we did not have visual aids and folk weren't losing their virginities unless they were molested. They weren't losing their virginities until in their teens, almost 18 years old. Now they're losing it at 6 and 7 because they have visual aids. This is a time in American history where sexual corruption is so great and is so deceptive that it's become the norm. Young ladies and young men, you don't want to be tampered with goods. You don't want to marry a woman on your wedding night and she's done had 6 or 7 lovers already before you. And when you walk out your wedding, you walk down the street, a man is looking and say, I used to have her. We need to take pride in our bodies, pride in our minds, pride in how we carry ourselves. Do not let Hollywood and do not let music and the rap industry define who you are and how you walk around. This is a time and age where the family is so much under attack that people are saying marriage is an old time. It's outdated. It's old-fashioned. But having a baby out of wedlock with a mother is the norm now. You just want to settle for being a baby's mama and a baby's daddy instead of fathers and mothers and parents. It seems like divorce is reigning champion and sexual corruption is reigning supreme. This is why God used sexual corruption at its highest to describe sin in the last days before he comes. Young lady, young man, young boy, young girl, who's ever listening, save yourselves. You are not special to 10 men or 10 women. You only can be special to one. God made you that way. Sexual boredom sets in quick on a woman who's had so many different varieties. She gets used to the varieties. So when she settles down to have one, she can't do it. Men are get used to having variety, sexual variety. When they settle down to holy matrimony, they're so used to having variety that they have a hard time being monogamous. They can't just have one. This is what sexual corruption does to our young people. It causes you not to be able to be monogamous. It causes you not to be able to enter into holy matrimony. You just can't run off the devil's playground and not have no residual effects, especially his sexual playground. We have enough sexual abuse. We have enough molestation. We have enough abuse, sexual abuse in the church without us abusing ourselves. About time you get into a relationship, you're all sexually worn out, you're emotionally worn out, and all these emotions and physical things that were meant solely for that one person, you have expended it. So about time you get into a relationship, you're done. You're tired already. So I admonish you today, whether you're a Christian, whether you're a believer, wherever who you are, your body is sacred. Your body is a temple. Treat it with class. Treat it with dignity. Treat it like a gift. Cover it up. Cover it up and save it for someone special. Men, too. You're not a coward for being a virgin when you're married. Do you know this is like this mostly in our country in Europe, but mostly in other countries? It's a disgrace for a man to marry a woman and find out she's not a virgin. It's a disgrace against the family. It's a betrayal against the family. And it's the most shameful thing. 75% of the marriages outside of America are arranged marriage for that reason. Because men don't want to marry a whore or a woman who's accustomed to whoredom, nor does a woman want to marry a male whore. Many of you are cheating on your husband before you even get him. I'm just trying to warn you. No one told me. No one told us this when we were out there in the world. That's all we knew. That's all we saw. Preachers need to stand up and talk to these young people straight. You can't sugarcoat nothing because sin is undiluted now. They're getting it without mixture. It's being poured out on this generation like never before. God bless you. I'm truly praying for this generation. And the messenger is praying. Remember that. Peace.